Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks, and this is Steve, and this is the final video for the Super Bowl 51 of the 2016-2017 season of the NFL. You know, it saddened me to see this last video on a great season, had a great run. I just feel like I should put a meme here somewhere. Yeah, that's much better. All right, let's go over last week's stats right here. I went, surprisingly, the worst week of the whole entire season. I went 1-3 with the unders and overs and both ATS. I told you to pick both unders, and both Green Bay and Pittsburgh scored a last-minute touchdown at the end of both games, just to make it over the over total, which was the public favorite. Both the public favorites won on the ATS as well. And I did the ultimate no-no. What I did, you know, I had Green Bay. I had let me look at this. I had Green Bay -4. I had Green Bay -11 and -17. And by the end of the game, they're losing by 29 points. I mean, who would have guessed that 29 points? And then they scored that last touchdown and lost by 23. Like that didn't help anything, and just lost my over on top of it. So at the end of the season, the Green Bay Packers screwed me once more. As you see, I'm wearing my wild card t-shirt of the Detroit Lions. I cannot stand Green Bay, but that's another video. So what I did as the no-no, as I just brought up, I took my whole entire winnings for the whole year, which was a lot of money, and threw it on the New England Patriots on the money line. Boy, was I sweating the load, man. By the second quarter, it was 10-7. I'm like, no, come on, you know. But by the end of the game, you know, they clearly won by 19. So, man, as a gambler's no-no, do not do that, because you just lose the whole entire season winnings on one game. And, you know, I just got so mad at the Packers. Unbelievable. So don't ever do that. But just a show for the record, you know. So I ended up, you know, at the money line paid, I was like 150, so I ended up getting 50% of my winnings of that gamble, which, you know, I made out pretty good there. So, but don't ever do that. That's a no-no. For my football pools here, let me bring those up. Like I said, I was 1-1 on the ATS on all my pools. They haven't gone much further. If you'd like to join me and or other prognosticators and see how well you do against you know, picking every single game of the NFL throughout the whole season, some with spread, some without, just like I said, I got the Facebook page link below. Join us. Be ready for next season. There's several of our prognosticators host them, and all you do is click and join. And you'll see me, Half Moon's Picks, along with other great prognosticators like Geo Knows and Bridgewater's Finest. TJ Harmon, he's another one. He did fairly well, good this week. Andrew Warren as well. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, and Matt the Fanatic. There's like so many. The Electric Football Show, another great prognosticator. And it makes me feel young when I watch those guys. So, join us. And, you know, have a great time. So on that mental note, let's get this ball rolling. All right, Super Bowl graphics here. Hope you enjoyed them. New England is a 3-point favorite. The under and over is 59.5. I'll show you here right on my book. The average books are around 58.5, but mine is 59. I'm going to base it off that, and that's Bovada. It's a great place to, you know, do your football bets, and not too many people, not too many sites, you know, take U.S. customers. So just to let you know for future reference. All right, so we're going to analyze the offense. Both offenses are extremely great. Top of the line, Atlanta's the number 2 offense, and the New England's number 4 overall throughout the whole season. But the defense fares fairly different, as New England's ranked 8th defense overall throughout the season, and Atlanta's 25th. Now, Atlanta has put up some, decent, the last couple games of the playoffs against Seattle and Green Bay. They have some new starters in there, new guys, and they have been, a little bit better than 25th, as far as that goes. So they have stepped up a little bit, but, nowhere near as good as the New England defense. Julio Jones, had that toe injury, but, within 2 weeks, he should be okay. That's the star receiver for Atlanta. In case you didn't know. Last week he had 9 receptions for 180 yards and 2 TDs, so that's pretty good for an injured toe. But Malcolm Butler, he'll be the one, sticking him as cornerback for New England. He held Antonio Brown for 7 catches, 77 yards, and no TDs. So that's exceptionally well for a great star. Antonio Brown is a great receiver. Probably not as good as Julio Jones, but in the top 5 as well. So you see Malcolm Butler is a great cornerback, so should be a great matchup there. See the turnover differential on both teams. New England's plus 12 and Atlanta's plus 11, so pretty equal. Now the thing I noticed with Atlanta last game against Green Bay, they did have a lot of drops, and they did, fumble the ball twice, but they recovered their own fumble. So like I said, those new guys, might not be able to keep up with the hype of the pressure of the Super Bowl as would New England. So that's just one point I'd like to bring up there. Win streaks, New England's won 9 in a row, as to Atlanta won 6 in a row. So both of them on a great hot streak, doing well. Great comparison there. Now this is like a road game, so Super Bowl is in a neutral, it's in Texas, in Houston, in the NRG Stadium. So it's in a neutral field, so you base both of them on away games, at least I do. And so on the road, New England's 8-0. 8-0 on the road, so they haven't lost a game on the road, as to Atlanta 6-2. So they still have a pretty good road team as well. Now Brady is 4-0 against Atlanta at all times. So in the last 4 meetings, Atlanta's won, New England's won, and they're favored by 3 or 4 points. So New England was favored 3 or 4 points all 4 games. They won by 7, by 16, by 3, one good push there, and by 14. And 3 of those 4 games were played in Atlanta. So that tells you, New England can beat Atlanta. At least they have the last 4 times. But upsets happen. Not too much in the Super Bowl, but yeah, they do happen. Now let's look at the game matchup. The public bets. 60% of the people are on New England, as to 40 is Atlanta. So, and the under and over, 75% is on the over, so you expect that'll rise a little bit more like it is on my game book right now, and 25% on the under. Of this season here, we got 8-2 ATS. So 8-2 covered the spread on this year's playoffs, as to 7-3 on the over. So like I said, it's been a favorable week for the favorites in the playoffs, as well as the overs as well. So Super Bowl appearances, here we go. The Patriots are a 4-4 record with 8 Super Bowl appearances. This will be their 9th, as Atlanta only been Super Bowl once, back in 1999. None of these players have been there, so obviously. So this is their 2nd appearances. Now New England, they'll be the number 1 team with the 9 appearances. They have other teams with 8 appearances, which would be Pittsburgh, Dallas, and Denver. So those teams have 8. New England now steps into the 9th. Now, bringing up the scenario, last year's Super Bowl 50. You have a NFC North or NFC South team going into the Super Bowl, playing against a experienced team who's been to the Super Bowl many times, the Denver Broncos. And Carolina was on a hot streak. They usually didn't play that good. They didn't play good this year, but last year they played exceptionally well, and here they go up against the experienced team. Same thing again. Atlanta, unusually great team, NFC South team, going against an experienced Super Bowl team. And we can just look at last year's scenario, is similar to this year's scenario, as Denver Broncos won and the Carolina Panthers didn't. So just on that note, so I'm picking the New England minus the 3. Usually when they're high points, I'll take the points, especially in the Super Bowl. But not this year. The New England is clearly the better team. But like I said, the offense are similar. Anything could happen. I like in New England minus the 3. Let's see. Yeah. So if you go on more stats on that, ATS on the road. If you go on the ATS stats, so why I'm taking the points. New England is covered 13-3 ATS, and on the road 7-1. And their over record is 2-6. So that means when New England controls the ball, the under usually happens, and I think that's what's going to happen. New England's going to try to, hold on to the ball 1 yard at a time. Get 10 yards here, 10 yards there, no long passes. They're just going to hold. They got a decent running game, decent passing game. Keep Atlanta's defense on the field. This is the game plan. I'm thinking if I was Bill Belichick, that's what I would do. And so I'm going with the under 59.5 with New England minus 3. Well, that's it for the week. I hope you enjoyed the season with me on all my picks as well. I did exceptionally well. This is probably one of my better years. The contest winner last week, I said what was Brady's passing yards. I picked 290. I was nowhere in the ballpark. I was expecting them to run more, which they didn't. Pittsburgh was able to stop that run, but they couldn't stop the pass. So Brady did pass up a lot. His actual yards was 384. Jermaine Burgess was the closest and the highest one, picking 362. He was only 22 yards off. So congratulations, Jermaine. You did a great job. So I'm going to cap this off real quick. In the off season, usually I don't do as many videos. I am planning on moving back up north, be closer to my home team. I'm going to definitely go some games next year. But what do you have for ideas for next season? During the off season, someone brought up they'd like to see more loops, like the helmet loops here. I did these helmets. Recently, I haven't skinned them all yet, but I'm getting them all 32 teams done. I've done them in the past, and people use them as their videos, which is great. I have no complaints with that. If you want any graphics, I'm going to do them. Or off season, I'll do all 32 teams. If you have any other ideas, what you'd like to see, I got also a couple skits in mind I'm going to do in my off time. If you have any ideas, please drop them below. Please join our Facebook page. Join the Prognosticators League and join the pools that we're in. It's lots of fun. I can't tell you how much. And you don't even have to bet a nickel. You just go there, have fun. That's what I do, whether it's betting or not, and still just having fun. Like again, I appreciate. Thanks for getting me up to 1,000 subscribers this season, and I want to wish you guys the very best of luck to more games to come. Let fortune favor the foolish. Thank you, and see you next season. Peace.